Aujourd'hui, je vais parler to all the total noobs out there in terms of getting to financial independence, retire early. Oh wait, why is that? Why are there total financial noobs at all, right? And if that's the case, what should you do to start well? To not be a noob anymore. Yeah, XenPuck here. Another day not working for the man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I just want you guys to know that's the real reason I make these clips, right? Because I'm so freaking happy in life that I just want to share the joy with y'all. Oh Lord, I just said y'all, I ironically must be turning into a real Texan. Anyway, today I saw one of those totally mundane posts on the fire group that I wanted to address, so let's read it, right? This guy, in quotes, he says, I'm 28 with zero knowledge about investing or the stock market. Was never taught anything about it in high school or college, and my family does not have any knowledge about it either. I would really like to start investing. I do not have a lot to use as a startup investment, have zero knowledge where or how to start. Does anyone know of any classes or anything that will start me out from the very beginning? Thanks. End quote. I felt this one, right? I'm pretty sure this dude can stand for like 90% of the population at this age group. The only difference is most 28-year-olds don't have the good sense to even be asking this question at all. And then they're surprised 10 or 20 years down the line, they don't have any real net worth to show for it, right? So today I'm going to dig into the mentality of what it's like to be a total beginner at their own financial journey and what they should do about it. Anyway, if you're intrigued by what I might say, please subscribe, like, comment, and share and all that social media buzzwords or whatever, okay? Because I am rich enough for me and will be great regardless. So first, I want to address a real truism this poster brought up, which is how he doesn't actually know anything about investing or managing money, especially from any sort of schooling up until this point. And he's in his late 20s, right? Is that rare in the USA? Absolutely not, right? That is the default, unfortunately. For whatever reason, school really doesn't prepare anyone for their financial well-being, and that is absolutely mind-blowing to me. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's the individualism inherent to the character of an American, right? Everyone's like, well, maybe you should be learning that at home. I mean, let's be clear, right? We do learn at home how to handle money, but most likely not due to instructions, but due to modeling, right? We all learn by observing how our parents handle money, right? Kids are great at picking things like that up. If your folks don't know what they're doing, unfortunately, that does imply that the kids won't either, right? Even my own parents, who are, in my opinion, very good at managing money, they never gave me any instructions, okay? But I did know that they hated debt with a passion, so I never had much of that when I became a functioning adult. And they saved very diligently, and so did I, right? Yet, I still had to figure out the whole how to invest the actual savings part, because like I said, it's not like my folks actually told me anything, right? I mean, personally, I don't really get any American parenting considering, why they consider money a taboo subject, so nobody talks about it, even within a family. I think that's absolutely crazy, but maybe I should be thankful, because it does create a niche for content creators like me. Second point, oh man, the poster, I love how he asks for help, right? He asks, hey, can I take a class for it? Classes, I love it. No. On the other hand, I want to say there's no class for this, right? I'd actually be scared of any classes that are offered, especially on the internet, to teach you how to handle money. This is because I could tell you this. Personal finance advice is so simple. I can tell you this right now, right? I've seen the whole, you could put it on a postcard. It's even easier. To start, it's just minimize your expenses, maximize your income, treat yourself occasionally, invest the difference once you have an emergency fund. The end. That's it. That's really about it. There's no part of these very realistic advice that's hard to understand, okay? Of course, each point can be expounded upon, right? but I wouldn't say any of these points are hard to just immediately get as I say it, right? They're not complex sentences, right? If you maximize your input and minimize the output, the difference, which is your savings, will grow as a result. Now, we invest because cash is static and loses value slowly over time due to inflation. And we need an emergency fund to cover those random life events because, shit happens in life, right? And the treat yourself a bit is really just so that you don't become like a monk and forget what the whole point of saving for the future is for. I consider these really simple advice, right? The only issue about this advice is, can you follow them over a long period of time, right? And that requires mental discipline. That's the part where people fail, right? Honestly, it's way easier to just blow your paycheck on mid-range restaurant meals that nobody in their right minds will ever remember in 5 years, let alone 10. And then people go, where did my money go? Well, most likely you spent it on nothing worth remembering, right? Because of the lack of discipline. That's all. Well, now to address his actual question, right? He said, what should a beginner actually do in terms of investing? Well, definitely don't do what I did. Okay, I invested in a few stocks whose companies I've heard of or believed in. Didn't do that much research. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, but I wouldn't suggest that as the very first investment option, right? Instead, I love the FIRE group. Listen to the group. I'm sure they'll just tell you to go buy VTI or some other S&P 500 equivalent ETF, right? Or very broad market ETF, essentially, right? It's simple and effective, right? You're just betting on the fact that giant private corporations will probably figure out things better than you can, right? I mean, can you really argue against that? I mean, we've all felt it, right? That the corporations are somehow all-powerful and maniacally behind the scenes controlling all the things. Sure, if you have, then just invest in them, right? Because then you're part owners of said giant overlordy corporations. If you can't beat them, join them, right? That's basically a very simple investing strategy. Most of us are nowhere near to changing the world, right? So don't feel bad about unable to change the world, right? We can still go along for the ride. Unlike the majority of Americans who are too chicken to invest, right? I mean, I don't usually look at life in the West as a zero-sum game, but just sometimes you gotta know you can be a winner because there are plenty of unwittingly willing losers out there, okay? Anyway, if you know nothing before, well, now you know something, right? You can overcome the lack of knowledge or direct instructions. I mean, I can give you direct instructions, right? The instructions, like I said, are easy. The hard part is consistent execution. Investing is also easy. Just start at the market and branch out into more complicated variations later if you want. And watch, I guarantee you, watch how that first investment into a broad market ETF will kick your own picks' butts, because that's been my experience, okay? Maybe over the course of a year or two, an individual stock pick, of anyone's can look great compared to the market average, right? But over 5 or 10 or 20 years, most of us will be humbled by that humble market average. Who knows? Maybe you're the next Warren Buffett and can prove me wrong, right? If that's the case, hey, all the more power to you. But I doubt it. Okay. So go have fun trying, but start with the broad market ETF. That's all I'm saying, right? Cheers. À la prochaine.